What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and we're going to be taking a look here at the equity markets. Down significantly today, over 5%, the S&P. NASDAQ down, Dow down over 6%. It's been a bloodbath. You could call it a mini crash. You could call it a repricing. Whatever you want to call it, the most important questions on everyone's mind right now is, are we going to go further lower? And when would you step in and buy it? And we're going to take a look at both those questions today in this video right now. Now, before we get there, I want to start off with what happened last night. Yesterday evening, we were looking here at this, after the FOMC, this possible, right over here, bull flag developing. You could see it right over here, right? Now, we were talking in the Telegram chat. John actually provided a nice chart. I'll pull that up in just a moment. And we were talking about what the next move would be here. Obviously, if we broke above out of the bull flag to the upside, that would be a place to step in and to buy. However, after we failed the bull flag, after we broke out to the downside, I myself got short. And I want to talk about this trade with you. I think that's really important. And so we're going to talk about that right now. Because this morning when we woke up and we went live on the live stream, I had just taken profit at about 8 o'clock a.m. And the reason I took profit, well, that's what I want to talk about. One of the most important assets I have in my trading is that I review not only good trades, I review trades I didn't take, and I review trades that I did not manage well. When I exited this trade on the live stream this morning, I did say, I don't think that was the right place to exit. So why did I exit? I had zero indication of any type of resumption upwards off of this support over here. Let me tell you why I did it, and let me tell you how I could improve on that in the future. Now, the reason I took profit over here was really because I had taken 5 trades in the month of May. 2 of them break even, 3 small stop losses. This trade overnight put me back into profit for the month of May. And I have to be honest, I took profits for the wrong reason. Sometimes psychologically, we are playing from our back foot, not our front foot. That's what happened today. I have to be honest, it's been producing these S&P videos on YouTube that kind of threw me off my game. I understand the majority of the flow and of the people who are involved in the channel, and I get that. But the thing is, either which way, comments, once you read them, they're in your head, right? And I have to be honest, there was no reason for me to take profit. I took profit, and you could see then after we continued this day just down, right? So what do I make of that? Right? Do I stop doing these S&P YouTube videos? Do I just focus on the live streams, which is an enormous asset to myself? I think I'm the type of person who looks to adapt and thrive, right? So regardless of what people are talking, right? The same people who are looking up there and, just clicking buy, I'm going to, calls. This brings us back to where we are right now. Let's look what happened today. Let's dig a little deeper. You could see that if you're seeing the market is increasingly going from one extreme to another, that's because it is. You could look here, back on May 18th, we had the highest tick on record. Look at that on the chart over here, and you could see this bar over here. This was on May 18th. If you look on the daily with me, you'll see what that looked like over here. This was this really big up bull candle on May 18th. And then today over here, we actually have now the lowest tick on record here on June 11th. And you could see the selling. We're going from one extreme to the other. Now, we were just looking at, and we knew the markets were overbought. It's all we talked about, right? How overbought the markets are. The number of stocks trading above a 14-day RSI was extremely high. And then you could look at what happened today with retail's favorite stocks. And you can see that they've come back to reality. Now, this isn't necessarily a crash. We were crashing up, and now we've pulled back down. This is volatility. Now, we could see more of this, obviously. Whether or not this is the beginning of a much further move down, that remains to be seen. Let's take over here and look at the true trend here on the S&P before we move over, take a quick look at what's going on the NASDAQ and as well as the Dow. But over here, you could see the true trend is still in an uptrend. You could see that we're still holding this trend line over here, and I still have a bullish bias. Does that mean that I can't sell when I have a bullish bias? No, it doesn't, right? So what happens now? Am I looking to sell this further? Am I looking for any possible retraces up? And then possibly if we get rejected by a resistance, looking to take a position downwards? Probably. That seems reasonable. What about am I looking, as we're getting closer towards this area of support over here, we have horizontal support. I'll call out some levels. We have horizontal support coming in right now at 29.72. Below that, we also have at 29.47. We also got this sloping trend line support that's coming in right with the 29.47 horizontal support. In that area is a decent area of support. If we do hold that support and then resume upwards, that's also a place that I'm very comfortable taking a long trade. Right now, it's Thursday. Made some good money today. I did a poor job. Could have done way better. But nevertheless, tomorrow's Friday. We're seeing a lot of volatility in the market. We got a lot of people over trading today. We got a lot of people over trading today. We got a lot of people revenge trading today. That's not how I make my money. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait and see what happens and wait to see whether it looks like we resume up and possibly coming to a resistance where I feel comfortable selling on a resumption downwards or closer to this area of support over here. I like this area, and if we have a successful test off of it and resume up, that also looks like a nice place to lean in long. Right now, I'm kind of neutral, as I should be, and could go both ways. So the momentum right now is continues to the downside. The dollar we talked about yesterday. We talked about that in during the live stream yesterday. We said if the FOMC did not go ahead and institute any type of control over the yield curve, we can see an impulse down on the dollar, and that would then maybe be the low. So far, that's what's playing out. We could see the dollar actually take back some lost ground over here. That could continue weighing on the markets near term. We could be seeing even a break of this trend line. We got some further support down there. This is still technically bullish. All that happened today is a lot of volatility resetting itself from what was the market was overbought and overreaching itself. It got way too emotional, and it's just been checked back. Let's look at the NASDAQ. I want you to see what this looks like. And this looks pretty ugly. Look at that island top that is formed here on the NASDAQ. That's quite ugly, right? A lot of traders, including the Swiss National Bank, are caught on the wrong side of that. What about the Dow? What does that look like? Same exact thing. That looks ugly, right? Do you want to step in and buy today? I don't. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be a buyer over the next couple of days, but not today. That's for sure. Just taking a look here at the ES, the YM, the NQ, look at that huge engulfing candle. Obviously, it all looks ugly. We're seeing gold and we're seeing silver. Both sold off today, but silver's coming back into an area of support, right? And you could see that gold also is holding support. Technically, they both look good. Bitcoin, we said earlier in the live stream, we said that if we broke out down below, if we broke below this area, this trend line over here, that we would be going back to 9,100. We hit 9,100 and are bouncing a little bit. Now, again, we talked about the longer we didn't break out above this resistance here at 10,000, the longer that went on, the greater our chances of us breaking down to the downside. We broke down. Here was the highlighted yellow area. We broke down, hit the support at 91. I don't know. We'll see what's next. What else is there? There's one other thing that I wanted to share with you during this video, and it is escaping my mind. So let's come back to the S&P 500 over here. And I just want to review with you one more time. I made a bad trade. I mean, it was a good trade, but it was a bad exit. I had no reason to exit. I exited simply to make back the month of May, right? Not really a good reason. This should have been a huge payday. This should have been a huge day. Listen, you can't always perform at peak performance. I knew what was going on, right? So this is an important learning experience for me. I enjoy the comments so much, and every day a lot of insights added to the comments. But I need to learn better how to filter them, right? And when people who are talking a big game have no idea what they're talking about, I can't let it get in my head. Listen, that's what it takes in order to perform. So right now, just resetting over here. I'm neutral going into tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. On the calendar, we have consumer confidence at 10 o'clock a.m. That's usually a turn in the markets. We'll watch out for that. I'm not looking to place a trade long or short right now, but I'm setting up where I'm looking to buy, and I'm setting up where I'm looking to sell, and I'm going to wait for the market to come to me. And it's always easier when things are clearer to then go ahead, jump in. Listen, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.